Hi there, my name is Bill Zebedee, and I'd like to welcome you to Jesus in the Movies and on TV. This series is dedicated to my mother-in-law, Ann Thomas, who passed away in September 2020, and who did the Jesus in the Movies workshop for nearly 20 years. It is also dedicated to my father, Wellington Zebedee II, of whom I'm named after, who passed away in February 2021.
Welcome to the first episode of The Actors Who Play Jesus in the Movies and on TV. In this episode, The Passive Jesus, we will look at Christ beginning with the infancy of movies in 1897 through to the beginning of 1900. La Passion de Christ, consisting of 12 scenes, was filmed in a vacant lot in Paris and runs 5 minutes, according to Baker. Sadly, this film has been lost to history. What we do know of it comes only from early movie reviews of the time. In the first episode of Jesus in the Movies and on TV, we'll look at the many actors who portrayed Christ since Kitchener's pivotal La Passion de Christ. I was trying to figure out how to present each actor and the film for each movie I watched, but until I read Jesus, Reel to Reel by Richard S. Askoff, I didn't know how I was going to proceed. Askoff came up with 7 categories for major Jesus films, and I'd like to, in part, base these first few episodes on that chart. As there are so many movies, I watched over 400, with Jesus as a major or minor character, it would take hours to look at each actor and movie, so I'm going to divide the first chapter of videos based on Askoff's chart. Before I begin, however, let us address the elephant in the room. What does the Bible say Jesus looked like? In Revelations chapter 1, verses 12 to 18, he is described as having hair white like wool and as snow, eyes like flame of fire, feet like burnished bronze, refined in a furnace. That's it, not much more of a description on one of the most recognizable people from the Bible. However, you can't argue historical evidence and science. According to The Ongoing Mystery of Jesus' Face by Sarah Pruitt, as shown on History Channel, one of the earliest artist's works, which was painted over 200 years after his death, depict Jesus as a young, short-haired, beardless man. Pruitt goes on to say the long-haired Jesus started appearing in the 4th century, which she says was influenced heavily by representations of Greek and Roman gods, particularly the all-powerful Greek god Zeus. In the book What Did Jesus Look Like?, Joni Taylor says that Jesus was probably average height, 5 feet 5 inches, or 1.6 meters. While author Penny Noyes says, based on archaeological evidence, Jesus probably had brown eyes like others in the area had at the time. One could argue, as popular belief by Claudine A. Chavannes-Mazel did, the current image of Jesus came about in the 12th century because of the wish to have God with a recognizable face. But what about the Hollywood view of Jesus? In The Colored Christ, Reimagining Race in Religion, the author asserts the race issue defined the director's role in the film's attempts to explain the life of Jesus. Early images of movie Jesus show him as a man with a light skin, with dark hair and eyes. In later years, his hair would become lighter and lighter, and his eyes bluer and bluer. Sometimes the actor's brown eyes were magically turned blue. In only a few cases do we see Jesus with a different complexion and eye color. There are even a couple instances of imaginative creations where Christ's gender changes. By the way, as it says in Competing Cinematic Christs, a critical matrix for evaluating 21st century Jesus story films by William Glenn Wells, Jesus films cannot be taken seriously for doctrinal or devotional value. They are the sort of cultural products that raise an eyebrow or invoke a polite smile. Please keep that in mind as you watch this series. Now, on to this episode. The Passive Jesus, according to Askoff, are silent films from 1897 to the late 1920s. As I stated at the opening, La Passion de Christ was the first time Christ was shown on film. I was unable to find the name of the actor who played Jesus or many details on the movie itself. According to the Internet Movie Database, the Lumiere catalog sold this title as 13 individual one-scene films, allowing exhibitors to choose which films they wanted to purchase and how to arrange them in their programs. In 1897, Jordan Wilochko played Jesus in a 12-minute short called The Horitz Passion Play, which, as the Internet Movie Database says, was originally presented in exhibitions that included slides, a lecturer, hymns, and organ music. This version of the Passion Play was filmed in Horitz, in the Czech Republic, where the Passion Play has been performed as far back as 1816. Another movie that not much is known about is Jésus devant Pilate, Jesus Before Pilate, from 1898. I could find no mention of the actor who played the lead role, nor on the movie itself. Alice Guy, an early female film pioneer, and who would later direct La Vie de Christ, The Birth, Life, and Death of Christ, directed this movie. Jesus does not appear in the 1-minute short La Tentation de Saint Antoine, The Temptation of St. Anthony, which shows St. Anthony's chastity tempted by visions of 3 women. However, I wanted to point it out because of one scene. The crucified image of Jesus is transformed into one of the women who Anthony was tempted by. I found this interesting because over 100 years later, we begin to see movies with the idea that Jesus was actually a woman and not a man. More on that in a future episode. Eventually, an angel appears to redeem the saint for his temptations. In 1898, we saw another Passion Play, this one called La Vie et Passion de Christ, Life and Passion of the Christ, in which Gaston Berthaud played Jesus. Described in Imaging the Divine Jesus by Lloyd Baugh, this 20-minute short film was rather undistinguished, with unimaginative set design and curiously gauche performers and a few crude attempts at special effects. 1898 also brought us a very short 1-minute L'Arrestation de Jésus-Christ, The Arrest of Jesus Christ, with another unknown actor. Now, when I say unknown actor, I mean I was not able to find a name. Rounding out 1898 was the Passion Play of Oberammergau, which starred Frank Russell and was filmed in Oberammergau. Several of the 23 scenes were stencil color prints, and this film was at the time considered the best of all the Passion Play movies. 1899 saw the first special effect of Jesus walking on water in a short called Le Christ marchant sur les flots, Christ Walking on Water, a short directed by Georges Méliès while vacationing on the coast of Normandy. Méliès is the same person who directed The Temptation of St. Anthony. We will continue on with Askoff's The Passive Jesus from 1900 to 1927 in our next episode. Remember to comment below, good or bad, all feedback is important, and to subscribe to this channel in order to know when new episodes are posted.